The following is paid for by Veteran Rescue Mission. The host is solely responsible for its content. Opinions expressed are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of KVOI or its sponsors.
Welcome to the Making College Come True radio show, brought to you by Tucson International Academy.
Hello, everybody. I'm still here. I know you guys thought I left after the Common Good radio show was over, but that's not how it works. I'm actually also the co-host of the Making College Come True radio show.
That's right.
Brought to you by Tucson International Academy. I am Pastor John McClain here with, let me warm my hands up for my favorite part of the show, here with the superintendent of that very Tucson International Academy, a former Tucson Unified School District educator, the author of the book, Making College Come True, 10 Keys to Success, and still another week ticks by, and she is still the newest talk radio show in the city of Tucson under the Making College Come True radio show, brought to you by Tucson International Academy, and her name is Dr. Jennifer Herrera.
Yay!
Yeah, Dr. J in the house.
Went wild.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's do it. What do you think?
My crowd went wild. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be here. I'll sure say that.
Yeah, we got another amazing show in store, and I think I'm a little excited today because I think we're going to be talking about some stock market game you guys are playing at your school. And,
that's right.
And we got some like the smartest future billionaire brokers here in studio with us that are going to tell us how to hedge our funds and how to make sure we appropriately diversify our portfolio.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, they know all of that. They probably know as much as I know right now.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
But this would not be the Making College Come True radio show if we didn't have Dr. J start us off with a little word of wisdom.
Oh, okay. A word of wisdom. Well, today, since the show is all about making college come true, I think what I would say today is that college is a whole bunch more than just learning more English and math and social studies and science. So high school adequately prepares you for anything you're going to do in the business world. Well, I don't know about the business world, but in some levels of the business world and in some levels of life, and you can be very successful. But if you really want that extra edge, if you really want that extra security, if you really want to be the top of the top, you'll have a better chance of developing all your skills and becoming the person, the man, woman you want to be by going to college. And why do I say that? What's the big deal about college? Well, first of all, you're leaving your home of your family. And in our family, sometimes it's a comfortable identity we have, and sometimes it's an uncomfortable identity. I was the baby and the only girl in my family. So guess what? What did they expect from me? They expected me to cry like a baby, and they expected that they'd have to take care of me like you have to take care of a baby. So in my family, while they did tell me, hey, you're a woman, but it doesn't matter. You can do anything you want to do in life. At the same time they would say that, they would also help me a lot. And so really, I didn't grow until I stopped receiving that help, and I chose not to ask for it, even though they kept offering. And I just moved away. You don't have to move away to do that, by the way. That's just where my opportunities opened. And I moved from the state of Indiana, where I was born and raised and educated, had a great family life, had a great experience in school, thought I would stay in Indiana forever. But my opportunities opened up in Arizona. So I came to Arizona and I looked around and I said, man, this is where I can make a difference. And I got excited about making a difference because I felt so honored and blessed for the way I was raised. I had a farm to run around and play on. I had friends. I had, recreation. We were close to cities, so we would go there for entertainment. A small community where people know you and you are known. You know them. It was just a really good upbringing. And I thought, man, there's people in big cities who maybe don't feel known. That was the thing I noticed. They don't feel like they matter. And how do you feel like you matter? Well, you got to be known, and people's got to, say, hey, I know you. And I think that you might be interested in this. So I thought, what can I do? So it took many years. Long story short, fast forward, I said, in education, we can build our own communities. So I thought, what if we built like a community around our school, Tucson International Academy? I could make a school, and then in that community, we would of course give them reading, writing, math, science and social studies. However, what could we do that would be beyond that? So we added the Mandarin Chinese, we added Spanish, we added international trips, my personal favorite, and business, because business is life. I mean, you are going to either be conducting the business or receiving the business, one or the other, all your life.
And either way, you need to understand it.
Yeah, you have to understand. If you don't understand it, then you're going to be behind the game, and you might be taken advantage of, or you might miss a great opportunity.
Yeah.
So it's a lot better if you just have the experiences ahead of time, so you can fully partake of everything. And so what could we do? What can you do? Well, so what can you do? Well, in high school, you can have different experiences. You can have clubs, for example. We have something we call our business club, and that's when you guys, we have 2 students in studio, but this is when these wonderful, amazing, smart students, these 2 are some smarties, when you have an opportunity for them to learn about business, they will be creating their own business, and they will be marketing themselves, and they will be doing the social media advertising and things like that. So they'll be simulating a business, but even potentially making real money on that business as high schoolers. Why not? I mean, they are young adults.
Yeah.
They certainly can. And in the past, we've had lots of TIA groups do those businesses, and they're still running them today. It's good side income. And for some, it's been a substantial income. So I'm really proud of the business program that we have at TIA. We call it the Business Club because it's more like it's a club, but you don't have to go to like meetings after school. So I guess we're still looking for the perfect name for it, but it is our business program. And we have interview day. We get interviewed by people. Have you guys done that one yet? Oh, okay. So that's coming. And this is what they get when they are in the upper years of high school. And you also will get to build your business. And then you'll also have career fair, which we haven't had a career fair in 2 years. Thank you, COVID. So this year we're anticipating we'll be allowed to have career fair again.
Nice.
And when we have career fair, you meet like 20 some businesses here in Tucson, and you get to interview with them and talk to them and see what it takes to do their job. And then you also in the afternoon get to meet with colleges and all kinds of trade schools that come and say, hey, if you were interested in that, we would be the school for you because we have this, and this. And then we do a big survey, and the kids have a chance to see what is their important, what is the thing they seem to be drawn to. Architecture, or what else is it? Maybe it's being a financial advisor. Could be any of that. And so having somebody in Tucson who's in that field talk to them, and then colleges who say, we have a great program for that. We have a finance program. It lasts 5 years. You come out with an MBA, blah, blah, blah. And they can get the knowledge they need to know, well, what is this vast arena called financial planning? What is that exactly? And how does that work? And where do stocks fit into that? Is there more than stocks? Yes, there is. Yeah. So you have a chance to learn all that stuff. So that is kind of like an extra. Those experiences, I believe, are the key to helping you really prepare for life. If you just read about it and talk about it and sort of pretend about it, like write a paper about it, you can get some knowledge from that. But where you really get the stuff is doing it. That's what it is. Hands-on doing it.
Yeah.
Which brings me to the end of this segment already. I can tell you a little bit more about how we accomplish that, and then maybe we can introduce our people. But I'm excited about what we got going. And today we're going to share a lot about our business program.
Nice. Well, that was Dr. J's Words of Wisdom for the week. This is the Making College Come True radio show brought to you by Tucson International Academy, and we'll be back right after this break. Go to TucsonInternationalAcademy.com today to register your K-12 child to make college come true in their life.
now return to the Making College Come True radio show, brought to you by Tucson International Academy.
Hello, welcome back to the Making College Come True radio show, brought to you by Tucson International Academy. I'm Pastor John McClain here with Dr. Jennifer Herrera, the superintendent of Tucson International Academy. That's like high
Yes, I am.
speed. That's
You are-
like super fancy.
You really got it out. Yeah, that you flowed.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, well, it's
good
just
job.
like just sitting next to one, Dr. Jennifer Herrera. That's super high speed. And two, you're a superintendent. Do you ever just like wake up in the morning and be like, man, I am a superintendent of a network of schools?
Sometimes I wake up like that. Ooh,
Yeah.
I'm a superintendent. Sometimes I wake
Yeah.
up, oh, I'm a
I'm a
superintendent.
superintendent.
Just depends.
Yeah.
Depends on what's going on, what the laws are doing, and what COVID's doing. And yeah.
Yeah, well, I
But
guess
I love
yeah.
it,
I
to be
guess I
honest.
look at it
Love
from
it.
the shiny star part where it's just like all the good stuff. But yeah,
It's
you got to
pretty
do it
good.
the good and the bad. But nonetheless, like I've been telling you since I first met you, you're an impressive lady. By golly.
Why, thank you. Thank you.
And you have a couple impressive young students here in studio
do.
with us today. Why don't you introduce them and let's get this ball rolling?
Well, how about if I have them introduce
Ooh,
themselves?
even better, yeah.
Because they are working on that as future businessmen and as my future financial planners.
Yeah.
They are here in studio to talk about what they're learning and to tell who they are. So just each of you introduce yourself, say your name, what grade you're in, and is that all we want for now?
I think so.
All right, that'll work. Go for it.
Hello, my name's Jesus. I'm in 10th grade.
Awesome.
Nice.
Hello, my name is Jesus Damien Garcia, and I am in 10th grade at Tucson International Academy.
Woohoo.
Nice.
Yeah, and they are definitely here with knowledge because we just completed 3 days of a prior learning, like groundwork, even vocabulary learning on stock markets.
Nice.
How does our stock market work? There's other stock markets. Maybe they didn't know that. You know, there's the Asian one, there's other ones, there's the NASDAQ, and then there's the other one, and then there's this one. There's just so many places that people have their business, and in their business, how it's run impacts if you have other owners, right? So they're going to maybe tell a little bit about what they know and what they're excited for with that competition. It is a competition through Junior Achievement.
Nice.
Junior Achievement is a nonprofit organization that offers incredible educational programs
Yeah.
to the public school and to private schools probably as well. And it's just what they do is exactly what I said in the first segment, which is they offer a real experience for kids. And so by creating this competition, and they're going to have like fictional numbers and things like that, the kids will actually be having to read the data to make decisions about what to buy and sell for a stock market competition. And it's exciting. And today I think these two had a little taste of that, and they had some success, and so they can tell us about it. And even every great professional person who deals with investing in the market also experiences some down days. So having to get a hold of that emotional element, because if you have other people's money and it went down and you just lost people's money, how will those people feel? Not good. So you got to really establish some sort of confidence and be centered so that you can handle the emotional roller coaster, because that's what it is.
Yeah. Awesome. So we'll start left or right on this one since you're both named Jesus. What has been one major takeaway that you guys have of the past 3 days? We'll start right to left because it's the look in your eyes when I asked that was not good. So Jesus, you're left.
Can you say the question again, please?
The major takeaway from these past 3 days of training on this type of stuff.
For this type of stuff, you got to take risks in investing in these companies and all that. So, yeah. And don't be scared of losing your money, because one of these days, I think like a rocket ship,
You
Yeah.
just take off. Yeah.
it takes off, yeah. And your business
That's
is
right.
gone.
Yeah, for sure.
It's give and take, right? Give and take all the time. And then how do you mediate some of those risks? Like, how do you make sure that you're minimizing the risk?
You there's like I can't explain it right, but
It's because it's all new vocabulary,
Yes,
right?
uh-huh.
For me too, believe
so
it or
there's
not.
like information about the business, so you have to look into it.
News stations,
Uh-huh.
right? News stations. I know you guys are the ones that told me, "Oh my God, Miss, did you see what happened to Bitcoin
Uh-huh.
yesterday when it dipped way, way, way down, but then it
Mm.
went back up?" So we're like, what happened there? We really don't know, right?
Yes.
So, but you guys had the heads up because you have been listening, or you have it pop up on your phone, with the news app.
Yes, we
Mm.
do.
Yeah, it's good. Yes. So that was a big part of it, I know as well. Yeah.
Well, what about you? What was a takeaway that you had?
One of the biggest takeaways I've had so far is seeing how you can invest into a company and seeing how far your money could go,
Mm.
either drastically
Mhm.
profit or drastically downfall.
Mhm.
As my friend Jesus was saying, we were partnering up and we both made very huge profits and very good decisions in the
Mm.
businesses that we've invested into, and they
Mhm.
both skyrocketed up to 16% and up to 20 and upwards of 145%.
Nice.
So
Do you remember what those,
drastic
do you know
profits.
remember what those businesses were?
I'm not sure if they were theoretical businesses.
Mhm.
So we had a paper that was saying that we have $10,000 fixed money,
Mm-hmm.
and we had to make moves in investing into those companies and seeing
Mm.
which one could have the most profit at the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
And we invested into GHA, was Globe Hopper Airlines, which
Mm.
is a not more so of a business airline, more of a venturist and what's the word? Like vacation airline.
Mm.
So
That makes sense.
that was one of them, and another one was BBP, Burger Bell Palace,
Mm.
and the last one was ISL Insta SnapLink.
Mm.
But the most one that
Interesting.
had the most success was Globe Hopper Airlines.
Mm-hmm.
That one went from $23 all the way up to $37.
Interesting.
Wow.
Did you have any markers that like distinguish why that happened?
Yeah, they had so one of the things that they did was they had brought in a new chief executive
Mm.
officer. So
Mhm.
they had brought in a new him, and when you bring up a new
Mhm.
CEO, new roles come in and everybody gets in check. So
Mm.
I feel like that had a really good line with it. And the BBP, the Bao Burger or
Mm.
Burger Bao Palace, that one had a drastic effect because they brought a couple new items to the menu, and yeah, that was pretty
Interesting.
much it.
That's
That's
actually,
good.
that's very good. Actually,
Yeah.
that's very insightful. I mean, 'cause just even thinking about my own portfolio, I don't know if I'm sure you have stuff in stocks as well, and it's just like I have right now. I have American Airlines, I have Ford, I have a little Dogecoin. I have a little bit of goodies. A lot of this stuff I picked up right as the pandemic hit because I, like you're seeing, I was like, okay, what are some of the stuff, the big stuff that I can see going on now that I can get into, and so that way I'll have the greatest increase later, particularly with American Airlines. At one time, like their stock almost plummeted to the floor. They had to be bailed out by the
Yeah.
government. So I was like,
Mhm.
well, might as well get in there and get some of that. So yeah, that's kind
smart
of
move.
yeah, that's cool how you guys, even at your age, nothing, against being 15, 16, I was there once, are already picking up on this. And I hope, as time goes on, you continue to use that intuition because it'll serve you well.
And how do you get intuition? You got to have a few experiences
Mhm.
because how could they even talk to this if they didn't have a simulation?
Mm-hmm.
And this simulation was like stagnant. It was on paper, but the real competition will be like live things coming up and popping up. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Well, cool. We're going to talk about all that and more after this break. This is Making College Come True radio show brought to you by Tucson International Academy. Go to TucsonInternationalAcademy.com to make college come true for your K-12 student today.
now return to the Making College Come True radio show, brought to you by Tucson International Academy.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Making College Come True radio show, brought to you by Tucson International Academy. I'm Pastor John McClain here with Dr. Jennifer Herrera.
Yes. Ooh, you rolled your R.
Yeah, I've been practicing. Andreas gets on me about it sometimes.
I got to learn to roll my R someday.
It's not easy. I just think machine gun, or laser beam, depending.
Yeah.
But we got some cool. I'm pretty sure you told one of your staff members, hey, bring the coolest 2 kids we have at our school in,
Yep.
because we're going to put them on the radio and they're going to go down in history.
Yep. Pretty
Okay,
much. That's
good.
it.
Well, then here we are. And before we went into break, we had the 2 Jesuses explaining to us, one, the kind of the basic elements of stocks and the process, and 2, the more sophisticated elements of it. So definitely it was super cool how these guys really like set that up and knocked it down. I appreciate
Yeah.
you guys and particularly coming from, a 15 to 16-year-old explaining to us adults, like, it's not that hard. It really isn't. It's not like, it's not this sophisticated thing. It's just a matter of getting into it and learning it.
I mean, this is only after 3 days. This was our 3rd day even looking at the subject, and they've already figured it out. They're like, just have to look at see what the what the parameters are around that. It's like, wow, okay.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's why I'm not a financial person. See.
Yeah, you do your thing, they do their thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
they'll be our financial planners one day. It'll be fine.
I'll
Good.
educate your kids. You just handle my finances.
Absolutely. So we're gonna, I think, turn a little corner since this is the Make It College Come True radio show. I certainly wanted to speak with these 2 Tucson International Academy sophomores about what making college come true looks like in their life. And a big question I love asking TIA students is, when did the idea of actually even going to college enter your mind? Because I know a big element of what we discussed with kids on this show, or just people on this show, is like, and myself included, some of us were from day one. We came out of our mother's womb, and our parents told us, you're going to college, you're going to do this, this,
Yep.
and this, and that's how it's going to work. And then some of us didn't. Some of us had our parents tell us, hey, I need you to stay home and help. Your mom's sick. I need you to help take care of your siblings. We need you here. We can't really afford for you to go to college. I'm sorry, bud. So with you guys, and we'll start with say Jesus L and Jesus R. Yeah, we'll start with Jesus
Or
L. On that question, and when did the idea of college first enter your mind?
I would have to say when college first entered my mind was when I switched to Tucson International Academy. I found out that it's 100% acceptance rate into college, and every student leaves the school with a college degree, or
College acceptance. Yep.
college acceptance. But I feel like my main reason why I want to go to college is because I've always helped my mom with my tata and stuff, and she's in the medical field, and I feel like it'd be like a really cool thing to follow behind, and it's very interesting.
Nice.
But I really want to go in for an anesthesiologist for sure.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
That's awesome.
That's very mature. A very mature thing to know at 10th grade. Like in 10th grade, I think I still wanted to be a president or a famous football player or an actor. So
I was going to be a beauty queen. just
Yeah,
saying.
nice.
Or a race car driver. One or the other.
That's it. Yeah. And what about you, Jesus?
Since I switched schools to come to TIA, it's because family problems and all that, and I really wanted to. When I started looking into like real estate, so I'm like, oh, okay, I could help me with stocks with that and all that.
Yep.
And I just want to retire my parents pretty much
Yeah.
at the age of going to college and all that, So
Nice.
yeah, that's pretty
awesome.
much.
That is awesome. And what do you understand about college, like as far as meeting people? Will you meet some kind of go-getters? What do you think? Like, I mean, being in real estate, you're going to have to meet a lot of people all the time. Like, you're going to have to get good at meeting them, which you already have such a nice, social presence. It's easy to talk to you, both of you, actually. And, but when you think of college, where are you going to pick that up? Like, will it afford you the chance to meet more people?
Yes, I would really like to seek wise people for
okay.
you know. Yeah,
Mhm.
I just want to seek people that would help me make my own business and take off from there.
Mhm.
Yeah, and in college, I would guess they're going to have professions that they might own their own businesses and have to buy that real estate, buy a building to put the school in, or buy the building to put the offices in, or buy a building you can rent also. So there's so many aspects to it in real estate.
Yes,
Mhm.
there is.
Yeah, and then I mean medical. Who can say? I mean, we all need medical procedures done, and anesthesiologists are like a gift from
Mhm.
God, because you don't want to feel the pain. You don't want to
Yeah,
be awake for that, right?
Yeah, my
Yeah.
friend had some dental work done recently, and I was the one who dropped him off and picked him up after he had the dental work done, and yeah, they brought this anesthesiologist in from Phoenix to do his dental work here, and it's such a sensitive thing. Like watching it, it was just like it was almost as if like this guy was delivering a baby that was my 50-year-old friend, because he was such a vulnerable state going into it, and as he was coming out of it, he was in such a vulnerable state. So it definitely takes a special person to be able to do that.
I mean, in the mind, you're messing with the mind and the body at the same time. So that's a tremendous skill, and it's a necessary one. So you know, boy, like I said, two people who are going to
Yeah.
contribute greatly to society upon their graduation, not only from high school, but when they graduate from college, they're even going to have more skills, more people that they will have met running around, and more knowledge about what's the best approach to help people in both of those areas. We're always going to need a place to live. We're always going to need a place to work. We're always going to need some help not feeling the pain we've brought on ourselves by not taking care of ourselves, right?
Yeah.
Or an accident. I mean, accidents happen. You don't plan on that car wreck, and that's painful.
Yeah.
So anesthesiology.
Mhm.
So what else would you guys say as far as like college? What have you heard about college? That's what I'm interested in, because I bet we could blow some myths too. Do you think college is too expensive? Like, what are you worried about for college? Or it could be finances. It could be just being away from home. It could be any number of things. Is there any concerns when you think about you going to college?
Yes. Being away from our parents.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's
'Cause-
the only big fear I have.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's huge. What do your parents say about you going to college? Do they want you to go, or are they kind of like,
Yeah, they want me to go. They
They
want
do.
they want me to have a better life to live.
okay,
Yes.
so they see college as a way to get that then.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because I mean, not all parents do, and that's okay. Like, you know, like I said, there's no right answers or wrong answers in this format that we're using. So, okay, so that would be a bit of a sacrifice, right?
Yes, it will.
And when I think about it, how many things we have to sacrifice for the to go up that notch. So I can't wait to talk more in the next session.
Yeah, we will. This is the Making College Come True radio show, brought to you by Tucson International Academy. If you have a student that's looking to make college come true in their life, go to TucsonInternationalAcademy.com today. We'll be back right after these messages.
We now return to the Making College Come True radio show, brought to you by Tucson International Academy.
Hello and welcome back. Buckle in, put on your helmets, make sure that you have all your snacks inside of the vehicle, because we are going for a ride. No,
Yes,
we're
we are.
not.
We have to start over because something happened.
Okay. Let's do it. That was such a good intro.
I know
though.
you did good.
We now return to the Making College Come True radio show, Brought to you by Tucson International Academy.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is the Making College Come True radio show brought to you by Tucson International Academy. I hope you are ready for fun because that is what we are going to bring. We have the two coolest kids in Tucson International Academy. Don't tell the other 148 kids that are in the school that I said that. And they are here. First, they started off filling us in on what they learned about stocks and what is good investing versus bad investing. Then they filled us in on how they learned about college, no surprise, Tucson International Academy, and what that means to them, what their maybe future plans are. They are sophomores. They got a couple years to put those plans in stone, but certainly we got some really good goals with an anesthesiologist and a real estate agent here in studio with us. So that's those are definitely both super awesome jobs to have. And I think as we're going into break, we were talking about some of the concerns that these young gentlemen may have in going to college, which is obvious. And one thing that I think that really jumped out to me and Dr. J is Jesus R, we'll call him. What's your last name, Jesus?
Zanudo.
Zanudo.
Yes.
So Jesus Z. Yeah. So Jesus Z said that that his pretty much his only and biggest concern is he's gonna miss his parents.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
they're a big part of his life
and
a
that
big
makes sense.
focus for his life.
Yeah, I know when I went
It's
to
important.
basic training, which I did, I went to basic training pretty much right after I got out of high school. That was the hardest part. You know, I mean, as much as like it very much wasn't fun waking up at 4:30 every morning and doing 1 hour of physical training and having my day being regimented 12 hours a day and all the yelling and the push-ups and all that. But
All the yelling, I like that part.
But the hardest part was being away from my mommy.
Yeah.
And that's, and that's what it is. So I guess, let's pick up where we left off there, Jesus, and I guess talk more about that. And,
Yeah. That sounds great. And so what you were saying, I think, Jesus, you want to just restate, you were saying the one thing that's a concern is, being away from my parents. Yeah.
So yeah, the one thing I'm concerned is being away from my parents because like they're the only people that really care about me.
Yeah.
And they're the only ones that are gonna pretty much stay around with me in the future.
That is true.
Yes.
That is family is family, and especially when you have a very healthy, positive relationship like you do, it's really actually a big benefit.
Mhm.
And they're going to be your biggest cheerleaders, and they want you to go and succeed. So I was telling these guys before the break and while we were on break that I want to solve problems so we can just start thinking ahead. Now this, you can change your mind a million times, but there's so many ways to approach that concern. Being away from home is a little tricky. It's lonely.
Yeah.
You're being kind of bossed around by people who don't really know you and probably don't really care. And it's an unfamiliar feeling, and after a while it gets old. And so what do you do about that? Because you don't want to just jump out of college because it's very expensive and there's so much commitment. You have to finish those 4 years. So it's like you can't start something and then just bail because you're lonely. So how can you feel that loneliness? So I think this is a perfect time to start thinking about that, because you have to think, how am I going to stay in touch with my parents all my life? I mean, more than likely you'll get married at some point or have a family, and you will your attention will be drawn to them because they're your first and primary, but your parents are always going to be right there too. But so how will you juggle that? So you might as well learn it, while you're young and while you're at college. So how do you keep that relationship going when you're not there every day? And so that's a huge thing. I will just say this, that exact thing of learning how to stay current with your family is so that your family continues to know that you care and that there's still that healthy, positive relationship, is the same as someone who's managing 4 sites. So for me, for example, I'm a superintendent. I have 4 schools, but I can't physically be at all 4 schools every day. So how do I do that? There's a number of ways that I do it. There's, electronic communication that helps, emails, newsletters. We have seminars about monthly, it seems like. I can call a meeting on Zoom anytime, and we can all gather via Zoom. And then I can do individual visits to each of the schools. So that is, one way that that transfers into the business world is what you're going to learn with your family. So with your family, you want to thank them. I imagine you're very grateful to them, and how you're going to thank them is by finishing that degree. Because when they go to your college, you think high school graduation is a big deal? You should do the college graduation. Oh my God. And how can I speak to that? My daughter just graduated from college 2 years ago, right in the COVID year. So they didn't even have a formal ceremony, but they had a formal ceremony last year for the ones that graduated 2 years ago. So we did go. And I am so surprised how excited I was for that darn, little walk across the stage, I mean, it's just amazing how much it means to you as a parent, because it's very expensive. When your kid gets a degree, to us parents, it feels like your kid is going to be okay, because they have now been equipped with a education level that can get them into almost any job. And it doesn't even matter what you get it in. She got hers in teaching. Teaching is a degree where, you're managing a classroom of kids. So that transfers right into the business world as a manager. You're able to manage departments. You're able to manage events. You're able to manage evaluations because you're grading papers. So really, teachers are excellent business people. And that's one of my colleagues, Susan McKenna, same thing. She has definitely demonstrated to me how business and education are different, and they also have common ground. So for you with your parent thing, that is so important that you think it through. So you could write letters. You could have a daily text. You could have where you go home every other weekend. Not good to go home every weekend because you won't meet those people for real estate. You need to meet people, so you need to go every other, something like that. These are just ideas. You can do whatever you want. But that is how you kind of mediate it. You could also live at home and go right here to U of A. Then you still are touching base every night, but believe me, you won't see them much because you'll be at school all day. When you come home, you're tired. You're going to go to bed, but you might catch a meal with them here and there, or at least say hello or, goodbye in the morning. So, but that's a good one. How about you? What do you think about college? If there's any concern, what's the first one that comes up for you?
One of the first concerns I have would most likely be, because medical field is very, very, very stressful and very hard. I wouldn't necessarily say I have many fears. I would just say my biggest goal there is to meet people and have connections, because connections can get you anywhere in life. Meeting the right people, sticking to your certain group could mean, if stuff happens later in life, your degree never goes anywhere. No matter what happens.
That's right.
You're always there to fall back on. But yeah, and like Jesus, the other one right next to me was saying, I feel like the more or less the missing my family part might be a little, but life goes on, life happens. They're always going to be there. It's family. Yeah. But
and do they support you?
Yes, 100%.
I think that's all the difference. If your parents are okay with you leaving. So to us parents, I say it's really important that your college kid knows you support them going away, that you're not mad at them for leaving, that you're not worried about them, because really they're can-do guys. I can tell you, speak for these two. They are very able to manage themselves and to handle themselves. I've seen them at school. Listen to how they talk. My God, they sound like they're 20-year-olds, So and that's just a little drop in the bucket. I mean, then you look at your academics and things, and you got brains to prove it. So it's really exciting. It's having your parents' blessing really makes a difference, doesn't it? And were your parents okay with you going to boot camp?
Oh yeah, my parents insisted upon it.
Well, there you
go. For sure.
No, that's funny.
Yeah. My parents were the type of parents where they said, you're either going to join the Army or go to college. After high school, you're not going to live here. And I was like, well, if I join the Army or go to college, won't I not live there anyways? So this isn't added up, parents. But, I enjoyed it.
I think that's really good, though, because it's good to hear others' perspectives. My parents are like, no, you're going to college. And I was like, what? Because I was a little young. I was 17 when I graduated from high school. And I just thought, I want to take a year off. I'm going to rest. Yeah. Nope, not what my parents had in mind.
For you. No
so
rest
they
for the weary.
Packed my bags and had someone in my life take me to college and dump me out. And I'm like, immediately unfriended that person. Like, you are not my friend, you're evil. And then then life went on. So but this is exciting that you're thinking about it now because it matters. Like, that's exciting to me to hear that you care that much about your families, because I think it's easy for us to just be so independent that we don't necessarily see a need to stay connected, but we do have a need to stay connected. And I like it that you feel that support from your parents. That's so it's not always the case. Let me just say that. So good for you. You have that already in your favor. And believe me, probably as a number one thing that will help guarantee the success of a student finishing their college degree, because their parents, when they want to quit and they say, I'm just failing my classes, I want to come home. And the parent says, oh, I'm so sorry you're failing classes. Well, I'm going to pay for you to have a couple of tutoring sessions, and you better get your grade up, and you're staying there. Don't come home until you do it. You know? And then the kid's like, what? I thought I loved you. I'm not sure. But then later you're like, thank God they gave me that little kick in the pants, right? How many times have you wanted to quit other things and they're like, nope, you signed up for it. You're going to finish it. You know, and that's another thing parents can do that is really positive, is to encourage your child to make the commitment and then stick to it. I can't tell you how many people even will take a job and then quit in the middle of the year. How does that feel as a student when a teacher quits in the middle of the year?
Kind of feels bad knowing that, like, this is the teacher that I want to be teaching me, and you know, you sort of grow a connection with them over the couple months or the years that they're there, and it's just like pretty much a family.
Rip. Yeah, it just isn't fun. So yeah, commitment. You know, sometimes you can't help it, but in teaching especially, I know that it really matters that you try to plan your personal life so that that doesn't happen, because it hurts kids. So to be able to complete a whole year with them, at least one whole year, it's 9 months. You know, it's not that. It can be difficult though. Life can be difficult. So that's the goal. Make a commitment and finish it, as long as it isn't to your own demise, like your own sickness or your own personal circumstances. So big.
Yeah.
I feel like it's all a mindset. Like,
That's what we
it's
say.
just a
regularly.
mindset that you gotta have, and the can-do attitude that TIA pushes so hardly.
Boy, you're my poster child.
Let's
right here,
let's go
two
ahead
children.
and can that audio
Yeah.
there.
Right there.
Yes.
You're the best.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you guys for coming in. You guys did an awesome job. Hopefully, we'll have you again maybe next year, maybe later in the semester. What do you
Yeah,
think?
I'd love to have them back.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Heck yeah.
Well, this is the Making College Country Radio Show, brought to you by Tucson International Academy. We'll catch you next time.